2025 is here, and with it comes a fresh opportunity to rewrite your story. But let me ask you something. Are you truly living in a way that honors your potential? You owe it to yourself to own your journey, every messy, imperfect chapter, and every victory, no matter how small. This year, we're not chasing perfection. We're choosing courage over comfort, compassion over criticism, and progress over stagnation. It's time to step into the arena and show up for the most important person in your life, you. 2025 is here, and with it comes the gift of a fresh start, a chance to embrace what's ahead and let go of what's holding you back. But let me ask you something. Are you truly living in a way that honors your potential? Are you showing up for yourself, for the dreams that keep you awake at night, for the vision of the life you've imagined? Because here's the truth. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to the person you've been, the person you are right now, and the person you're becoming to show up fully, unapologetically, and wholeheartedly this year. Owning your story is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. There's no denying that life can be messy, unpredictable, and sometimes downright painful. But the beauty of your story lies in its imperfections. Those chapters you want to skip, those moments of fear, failure, or doubt, they're just as valuable as the triumphs and successes. They've shaped you, taught you resilience, and given you the tools to move forward. When you own your story, you reclaim the narrative. You stop letting shame or fear define you, and you start writing the next chapter on your terms. This year, don't shy away from the parts of your story that scare you. Instead, lean into them. They're not the end of the book. They're the beginning of something new. Choosing courage over comfort is a daily decision. It's tempting to stay in the familiar, even if the familiar isn't serving you. It's easier to avoid hard conversations, to stick with habits that feel safe, or to tell yourself you're not ready. But growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. The truth is, everything you want, everything you deserve is waiting for you on the other side of fear. It means you'll feel the fear and do it anyway. This year, be willing to take risks, to put yourself out there, to dream bigger than you ever have before. Because courage isn't about being fearless. It's about being brave enough to act in the face of fear. And while you're being courageous, remember to be kind to yourself. We live in a world that glorifies hustle, productivity, and perfection. But none of those things will sustain you if you don't treat yourself with compassion. You will stumble this year. You will make mistakes. You'll have days where self-doubt creeps in, and that little voice in your head tells you you're not good enough. When that happens, I want you to pause and ask yourself, would I say this to someone I love? Because if the answer is no, then you don't deserve to say it to yourself either. Self-compassion isn't weakness, it's the foundation of strength. When you're kind to yourself, you give yourself the grace to try, to fail, and to keep going. And that grace is what fuels resilience. 2025 is your arena. Picture it, the bright lights, the noise, the crowd. Some people are cheering you on and others are pointing fingers and criticizing from the cheap seats. Here's the thing, the people who matter are the ones in the arena with you, the ones showing up, daring greatly, and putting their hearts on the line. The critics, the doubters, the people who want to see you fail, they don't matter. What matters is that you're in the arena. You're showing up for your life. You're putting yourself out there, even when it's hard, even when it's scary, even when you feel like giving up. That's what makes you brave. That's what makes you unstoppable. And through it all, remember this: you don't have to be perfect. Perfection is an illusion, a moving target that will only leave you exhausted and unfulfilled. Success isn't about getting everything right. It's about showing up, doing the work, and celebrating progress. Every small step forward is a victory. Every lesson learned is a gift. So let go of the need to have it all figured out. Trust that the process will take you where you're meant to go. Be patient with yourself and be proud of the effort you're putting in. This year is yours to claim. It's a blank canvas and you are the artist. You owe it to yourself to create something beautiful, to live boldly, and to honor the incredible, one-of-a-kind person you are. So step into 2025 with courage, compassion, and the unwavering belief that you are worth it, because you are. And this is your year. Owning your story is one of the most courageous things you can do in this life. It requires standing face to face with your experiences, the beautiful and the painful, and saying, "This is mine. I'm not hiding from it, I'm not running from it, and I will no longer let it define me in ways that keep me small." But let's be honest, owning your story isn't easy. It asks you to revisit moments that broke your heart or made you question yourself. It means facing fears you've buried deep down and confronting the parts of yourself you wish you could change. But here's the truth. Your story, every single part of it, is your power. It's not a weakness to have struggled, it's a strength. Each scar, each mistake, and every misstep has shaped you into the resilient, evolving person you are today. And the moment you embrace that, you begin to write a new chapter, not one dictated by shame or fear, but one fueled by courage and authenticity. Choosing courage over comfort is a decision you will need to make every day, and let me tell you, it's not going to feel natural at first. Comfort is so tempting. It's where we hide when we're scared of the unknown. It's where we stay when we're afraid to fail. It whispers to us, "Stay here, it's safer, it's easier." But you know what else comfort does? It keeps you stuck. It convinces you to trade potential for predictability, in dreams for excuses. The truth is, everything you want, everything you've ever hoped for, lives on the other side of comfort, and reaching for it requires courage. Not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward in spite of it. This year, challenge yourself to lean into discomfort. Make the phone call that intimidates you. Say the thing you've been holding back. Take the leap. Even if you're not 100% sure how it's going to work out, because that's where growth lives, and you owe it to yourself to experience the expansion that comes with choosing bravery over ease. But as you stretch yourself, don't forget to be your own greatest ally. Self-compassion is not weakness, it is survival. We've been taught to be so hard on ourselves, haven't we? To criticize every misstep, to dwell on every imperfection, to measure our worth by how productive, attractive, or successful we are in the eyes of others. But what happens when we fail to meet these impossible standards? We turn on ourselves, we call ourselves names, we internalize shame. This year, I challenge you to interrupt that cycle. When you fall short, and you will because you're human, respond with kindness. Instead of tearing yourself down, ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? Treat yourself with the same empathy and encouragement you would give a close friend, because you are worthy of kindness, even from yourself, especially from yourself. 2025 is your arena, and stepping into it takes more bravery than you realize. It's easier to sit on the sidelines and critique, to tell yourself that you're not ready or that the risks aren't worth the effort. But there's nothing courageous about staying small. The critics in the cheap seats will always have something to say, but their opinions don't matter. What matters is that you're showing up, putting yourself out there, and fighting for the life you want. Yes, you might get knocked down, but that's part of it. The arena is messy, it's unpredictable, but it's also where all the magic happens. It's where you discover who you are and what you're capable of. Don't let fear or judgment keep you from stepping in. Be bold enough to take up space. Be brave enough to try, even when you're scared. And as you step into the arena, let go of the need to do it perfectly. Perfection is a myth, a burden we've been carrying for far too long. It tells us we're never enough, that our efforts don't count unless they're flawless. But the truth is, progress is what matters. Every small step forward, every lesson learned, every ounce of effort you pour into yourself is a victory. Celebrate it. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect version of yourself. None of those things exist. What exists is today. What exists is the choice to show up, to try, and to believe that you are worthy of the journey, no matter how messy or imperfect it might look. You owe it to yourself to live boldly this year, to take risks, to grow, and to give yourself permission to thrive. This is your year. Don't just dream it, live it. Being kind to yourself is often one of the hardest but most transformative things you can do. We live in a world that constantly tells us to hustle harder, be better, and achieve more. The message is loud and clear. You're only as good as your latest success, and mistakes make you less worthy. But that message is a lie. You are not defined by your achievements, your failures, or even the standards others have set for you. You are worthy simply because you exist, and the sooner you allow yourself to believe that, the freer you'll feel. This year, give yourself permission to let go of the pressure to be perfect. Let yourself be human. Messy, flawed, and still worthy of love, compassion, and celebration. Speak to yourself the way you would a friend. When you make a mistake, remind yourself it's part of the process. When you feel discouraged, remind yourself you've overcome challenges before and you will again. Self-compassion isn't about lowering your standards or making excuses. It's about giving yourself the grace to try, fail, and grow without tearing yourself down in the process. This year, I want you to picture yourself standing in the arena of your life. It's not a small, tidy place. It's a massive, chaotic space filled with possibilities, challenges, and the echoes of critics shouting from the sidelines. Some of those critics might even sound like your own voice, pointing out every reason you shouldn't be here. But let me tell you something. If you're in the arena, you're already ahead of the game. You're already braver than those sitting in the stands, watching and judging from a safe distance. The arena isn't for the faint of heart. It's for those who are willing to show up even when they're scared. It's for those who are ready to face uncertainty, risk failure, and stand tall in their own power. Being in the arena means you're living, really living, not just going through the motions or hiding from the fear of what could go wrong. You're saying yes to possibility, and that alone is something to be proud of. But showing up in the arena doesn't mean you have to be perfect. In fact, perfection is the fastest way to rob yourself of joy, connection, and growth. Perfection tells you that no matter what you do, it's never enough. It convinces you to delay your dreams, to hold back your ideas, and to stay small until you've achieved some unattainable level of flawlessness. But here's the truth. Perfection isn't real. It's a myth we've bought into. A moving target will never hit. What's real is progress. What's real is the effort you put in, the lessons you learn along the way, and the person you become through the process. This year, let go of the need to have it all figured out. Allow yourself to try, to stumble, and to get back up again. Celebrate the small wins, the quiet moments of growth, and the courage it takes to simply show up. Choosing courage over comfort will be one of the most important decisions you make this year. Comfort might feel safe, but it's also the place where dreams go to die. Staying in your comfort zone means settling for what is instead of reaching for what could be. It means saying no to opportunity, growth, and the life you truly want, all because stepping out feels too risky. But here's the thing about courage. It doesn't mean you're fearless. It means you're willing to take the leap even when fear is whispering in your ear. Courage is booking the flight, making the call, sending the email, starting the project, whatever it is that moves you closer to the life you're meant to live. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it might not go the way you planned. But every time you choose courage, you remind yourself what's possible, you build confidence, you expand your limits, and you prove to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. This year is your opportunity to honor the incredible, resilient, capable person you already are. You don't need anyone else's permission to go after what you want. You don't need to be perfect, fearless, or have everything figured out. What you need is to believe in yourself enough to show up, even when it's hard, even when it's messy. You owe it to yourself to stop waiting for the right moment and start creating the life you've been dreaming of. This is your year to live boldly, to step into your power, and to remind yourself every single day, you are worth it. Progress over perfection is a concept we hear often, but how often do we truly live by it? So many of us hold ourselves back because we're waiting for the perfect timing, the perfect skill set, the perfect version of ourselves. But the truth is, perfection is just a form of procrastination wrapped in fear. It's that voice in your head telling you you're not ready yet, or you're not good enough to try. It convinces you to play it safe, to stay where you are, and to delay action until some mythical moment when everything aligns. But here's the reality. Progress is messy, and growth happens in the trying, not in the waiting. This year, give yourself permission to start where you are with what you have. It won't be perfect, and it doesn't need to be. The only thing that matters is that you take the next step, and then the one after that. The beauty of progress is that it compounds. Every small action, no matter how insignificant it feels, moves you closer to the life you want. When you embrace progress over perfection, you free yourself from the fear of failure. Failure is inevitable, but it's also essential. Every stumble, every misstep, and every setback is a lesson in disguise. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's proof that you're trying, and trying is brave. Trying is what moves you forward. This year, redefine what failure means to you. Instead of seeing it as something to avoid, see it as a sign that you're in the game, that you're pushing your boundaries, and that you're willing to risk the unknown in pursuit of something bigger. Let failure be your teacher, not your enemy. And when it happens, and it will, treat yourself with kindness, reflect on what you've learned, adjust your approach, and keep going. Progress isn't about avoiding failure. It's about learning how to navigate it with grace and resilience. To make progress, you have to show up. And showing up is no small feat. It takes courage to step into the unknown, to face the possibility of rejection or disappointment, and to give your all without any guarantees of success. But showing up is also the most powerful thing you can do, because when you show up, you send a message to yourself and to the world. I'm here. I'm trying. I'm willing to do the work. And that willingness is where transformation begins. This year, commit to showing up for yourself, even when it's hard. Show up for your dreams, for your goals, for the version of yourself you want to become. Show up imperfectly, awkwardly, even clumsily, but show up. Because the act of showing up is what separates those who wish from those who do. In the process of showing up, don't forget to celebrate your progress along the way. It's easy to get so focused on the end goal that you overlook the small victories happening every day. But those small victories matter. They're the building blocks of your success, the proof that you're moving forward, even if the progress feels slow. This year, make it a habit to acknowledge your efforts. Celebrate the steps you take, no matter how small they seem. Write them down, share them with a friend, or simply take a moment to recognize yourself. Gratitude for your progress will keep you motivated, even on the days when it feels like you're not moving fast enough. Remember, progress is progress, no matter how small. As you move forward, remind yourself that your worth is not tied to your achievements. You are already enough exactly as you are. The goals you're working toward, the dreams you're chasing, they're not about proving your worth to anyone, not even to yourself. They're about honoring who you are and what you're capable of. They're about stepping into the fullness of your potential, not because you need to be better, but because you deserve to experience everything life has to offer. This year, let your actions come from a place of self-love and self-respect, not from a need to prove anything. You don't have to earn your worthiness. It's already yours. 2025 is your canvas, and you hold the brush. There will be smudges, mistakes, and colors that don't quite blend the way you imagined, but those imperfections will make the painting uniquely yours. You owe it to yourself to create something bold, something true, something unapologetically you. Don't wait for perfection. It will never come. Start now. Start messy. Start scared. Just start. You are capable. You are worthy, and you are ready for this. There's a moment in life when you realize no one is coming to save you. And while that might sound daunting at first, it's actually one of the most empowering truths you can embrace. You are the hero of your story, and everything you've ever wanted begins with the choices you make. You owe it to yourself to live boldly, to chase after your dreams with everything you've got, and to stop waiting for someone else to grant you permission to go after the life you want. The life you dream of isn't going to fall into your lap. It's not waiting for you in the someday you keep telling yourself about. It's here, right now, in the small decisions you make every day, in the courage to try, and in the relentless belief that you are worthy of the life you desire. This year, stop putting your dreams on hold. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start when I have more time, or I'll wait until I feel ready? Let me tell you something. There will never be a perfect time, and you'll never feel fully ready. Readiness is a myth, a comfortable excuse we use to avoid the discomfort of starting. The truth is, you don't need to have all the answers or know exactly how things will turn out. You just need to take the first step. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates clarity. The more you move, the more you'll discover about what you're capable of and where you're meant to go. Don't let fear of the unknown keep you from moving forward. Take messy, imperfect action and trust that you'll figure it out as you go. In chasing your dreams, don't let the weight of other people's opinions hold you back. It's easy to get caught up in what others might think, whether they'll approve, whether they'll support you, or whether they'll judge you. But the truth is, most people are too wrapped up in their own lives to care as much as you think they do. And even if they do have opinions, those opinions aren't your responsibility. You are not here to live your life according to someone else's expectations. You are here to honor your own vision, to follow your own path, and to create a life that feels true to you. This year, let go of the need for external validation. Trust yourself, trust your instincts, trust that you know what's best for you, even if it doesn't make sense to anyone else. But as you pursue your goals, remember that the journey isn't just about the destination. So often, we get caught up in the idea that happiness is waiting for us on the other side of success. We think, I'll be happy when I get the promotion, or I'll feel fulfilled when I reach this milestone. But the truth is, life is happening right now in the moments between where you are and where you want to be. If you're constantly chasing the next thing, you'll miss the beauty of the present. This year, make it a point to savor the journey, celebrate the small wins, appreciate the lessons, and find joy in the process of becoming. Life isn't about checking boxes on a to-do list. It's about experiencing it fully with all its highs and lows. And through it all, never forget to give yourself grace. There will be days when you feel unstoppable, and there will be days when you feel like you're barely holding it together. That's okay. That's life. Progress isn't a straight line, and growth doesn't happen overnight. Be patient with yourself. Recognize that every effort, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. You are not falling behind. You are exactly where you're meant to be, learning what you need to learn and growing in ways you might not even realize yet. Trust the process and trust yourself. 2025 is your year to show up for yourself like never before. It's your chance to choose courage over fear, progress over perfection, and authenticity over approval. You owe it to yourself to stop playing small, to stop waiting, and to start living the life you've always wanted. No one else can do it for you. This is your story, and it's time to write it in bold, vibrant, fearless strokes. You are capable, you are deserving, and you are ready. So step forward, step fully into your power. You owe it to yourself, and there's no better time than now.